Game number 2 here of this best of 3 in the round of 128. My maths was really struggling yesterday, and I kept getting the round numbers wrong. But it seems to have recovered a little today. It's thanks to some very strong tea and a lot of caffeine pumping through my veins. But let's introduce these two players. Spawning in the top left-hand position, we've got the red Protoss player, representing Gentle Giants, fighting for his spot in this qualifier, Majestic. And his opponent, down to the south, the blue Zerg player, representing Rockat, it's Dimaga. So this is where things start getting pretty tense for Majestic. He's down a game. He has to win now. If he doesn't, there's only one more qualifier left, and he may not even qualify for it, because it's the wild card. You've got to have 200 ladder wins in Season 1 or 2 in Master League or above. Very insane. However, Dimaga, yesterday, got knocked out in the round of 16 up against Stefano in a very close best of 3. So I'm excited to see how Dimaga does today. And in that game 1, he looked so solid. I'm really expecting him to do some incredibly cool things. So an early scout coming out here. Sorry, never mind. That's a hatchery coming down. Overlord's just scouting out. Going to scout the wrong way first, which is a little bit irritating, but not disastrous. Should all be good. And the reason it's not disastrous is because Majestic isn't doing anything too crazy. He's just sitting there going, yep, got my 2 gases, but I've got 2 probes in one in the other, adding in my cybercore, playing it relatively safe. I'm not sure if my brain is melting, but is there 2 gaps in this wall now? No, that shouldn't be a gap. Actually, maybe. Ooh. Still, not a huge problem, because of course Dimaga's not doing anything crazy all in. He's just getting 2 lings out to make sure there's no proxies or that sort of stuff about to hit him, but should be alright. Up now, at Majestic side, still no sign of what he's got intended. His natural base gonna be coming through. Relatively easy to sit here and defend this up. The debris on this ram means you can actually completely wall it off if you want to. But not essential to do. Dimaga just saying, yep, natural coming down, so hey, I'll take a third. And it worked out for him pretty damn fine last week. Oh, last game. Anyway, Mothership Core now getting a little bit of damage down, doing a little bit of awkward stuff. But for the most part, it's just going to be zoning out a bit of damage. This Overlord can just sit here and wait patiently. Dimaga adding in as many drones as possible right now. Hasn't taken any gas yet. Knows that he's quite safe. But doesn't actually know what Majestic's doing yet. And it is again going to be that Stargate as part of the wall up. So I sat there and said Dimaga doesn't know what's happening, but he does. He saw the Stargate. Don't know if he had a chance to click on it to confirm that it was definitely the Stargate coming in, but should have a solid idea. So because of this, Dimaga has a lot more early warning of what could be coming than he did last game. And he's also defended last game without any warning fantastically well. So Majestic, just confident in this build, hoping that things are going to go well for him. Can he make it work? Warp Gate Tech is now 2/3 done. No additional gateways being added in. Instead, all of the money being pumped straight towards upgrades and tech. Phoenix are again going to be on the cards. And I don't think that's a bad move by any means, because actually, the Phoenix last game did an alright job. It was nothing spectacular. You wouldn't exactly write a big blog post on the Phoenix and the way they devastated the Zerg, but it was enough. It was warranted, they did their job. It was just the rest that didn't really manage to work it out. 2 additional gates coming down in the back here. Dimaga does have an Overlord trying to come through. He's losing 1 at the natural base, thanks to this Phoenix chipping away. So this confirms for Dimaga it definitely was a Stargate. Can't see any of these 3 additional gates that are there now, so won't know that this is 4 gates worth of production. Keeping an eye on what Dimaga's doing, he's still just holding down that D key. Early game Zerg, not too stressful in terms of your production and macro cycles. You just go hatches, lava, drone, and just repeat that for about 8 minutes. And as long as you can get away with that, in the mid game, you've got a great economy. Having seen the Phoenix, I wouldn't be in the slightest surprise to see Dimaga go straight into Hydralisks yet again. It worked so well for him last game. And that's because of the lack of splash. And really, it's what won the last game for Dimaga. Admittedly, he got a beautiful little win in the Colossus, moving forward and just being able to snipe that out. But without splash damage, Lings and Hydras wreck face. They really do. Hydrogen on his way out, so just as expected. We've also got the +1 Carapace. If you've only got the single evolution chamber, the Carapace option is better because it benefits the Lings and the Hydralisks, as opposed to either the melee or ranged attack. Majestic, move your Phoenix. Thank you. A couple of Zealots coming in with this push as well. Going to be looking to get a sweet little bit of damage down. Needs to attack with all of his Phoenix though, or else he's not going to be able to take out that Queen. But this is a bit more aggressive. We've got another wave of Phoenix coming through, and Dimaga needs some units pretty pronto in order to keep this third base alive. The Queen now dead is annoying. The Phoenix chasing out some of those drones, and the Lings just retreating back. More Hydras on their way out. But if all these Zealots actually focus the hatchery, I think Dimaga may end up losing this. He's got to be very careful that he doesn't let it fall. Tybalt being used, gets one of those Phoenix with a lift as well. Another one going to fall, but a few more reinforcing. The hatchery getting down to about half HP now, but more and more Hydras flooding onto the field. And as more Hydras get out, the damage output really grows quickly. The Zealots slowly being picked away at. Behind this, the Robotics Bay on its way. The Mothership Core unfortunately gets taken down, which is a big problem. But regardless, Dimaga manages to save his third base, and as a result, he keeps everything nice and steady. His drones, losing 8 of them isn't that bad. He's still above his opponent in the drone count. But what Dimaga is going to be looking to do now is counter-attack. And remember last game, that counter-attack was damn good, because his opponent didn't have Colossi. Yet again, we're not seeing a Colossus. All we're getting a look at is the fact that a Robotics Bay is coming down, and that means Colossi are a fair way off, especially since an Immortal is only halfway through production. It's going to add a further delay through that. Another Zealot warping coming, and this hatchery could actually be in some problems here. It's going to be ridiculously close, but just saved. 54 HP there, and it stays up. This is a massive vulnerability. Dimaga needs to find this proxy pylon. A solo Zealot just running in there, if only the Queen's in a position to defend, will get taken out, but nope. Zealots gonna try and go for it, but the Hydra's all there. They say no, leave my hatch alone. And the pylon should now get discovered. The Phoenix still being a bit irritating, but 13 workers killed still isn't like a devastating amount. However, Colossi coming out, Extended Thermal Lance coming out, and Dimaga doesn't have that much of an army supply where he can go and start barreling down the front door. Although, he's getting there. The Spire is also on its way, because while he hasn't yet seen any sign of the Colossi, he can suspect it. Generally, there will be some Colossi coming, unless your opponent's rushing into Storm. And that does happen occasionally, and so I'm not 100% okay with Dimaga going for this, I believe, blindly. But he's running up with the Zealot now, so he may be able to check, but I can't see anything that would have given away that he knows Colossi are coming. Third Nexus, yet again coming down, and this was the priority target Dimaga had last game. Does Majestic have enough units to defend it from the approaching Hydra force? A cannon is trying to come down, but it's being focused quickly. No sign of a time warp that is available, and with the Colossus out, and only a handful of Hydralisks here, Dimaga's going to have to back out, especially with the second one on its way. In his main, these Phoenix are still being a nuisance, managing to rack up 16 worker kills in total. But Dimaga, he's also got his fourth on the way, so he's staying a base up regardless. Going to be moving forward, trying to get a bit of damage done. These Colossi, though, along with some great force fields, picking apart a lot of these Hydralisks. The Hydras are 1-1, the Colossi have 1-0, as well as the rest of those gateway units, but Dimaga being forced to retreat. His Corruptor count, though, up to 9. And if I'm not mistaken, there's only 2 Stalkers. The Void Way's gonna help, but that's only at half health. And there's only one of them there for the moment. But the Corruptors aren't going through a quick counter and trying to take that out. Instead, just looking to intercept these Phoenix that have done more than their weight in minerals worth of damage. So Dimaga's still pumping out a lot more Hydras. He's got the Corruptors there. No Roaches in his composition at all. Also though, adding in the +1 air attack. So going for these Corruptors may not be as strong as going for, say, like Roach Hydra Viper against Colossi, but they're a bit less of a gamble. They've got some guaranteed damage, but also if you transition into Mutalist afterwards, it's going to be big. This Mothership Core actually taking a decent amount of damage. The Void Ray still picking away at the Corruptors, but it goes down. The Mothership Core and Phoenix taking some damage, but all 3 Colossi staying up for now. And most of the Corruptors are getting taken out. This was not great prioritization by Dimaga. Majestic crushes this attacking force, and Dimaga just GG's out there. I'm trying to... Wait, hang on, I'm not going to leave this game yet. He didn't lose as far as I could see any more units. He's just deciding that he can't engage that force. He's got his 4th base, and I'm just trying to see, was there a reason particularly why he GG'd out there? I can't see anything that would have done it, but hey, maybe you know, let me know in chat or comments depending on where you're watching.